Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager. We're on episode 69. We opened this time a couple of weeks into the future after our second career Grand Slam victory, both for Montgomery and Squaw. I take over training for 1 week after multiple tournaments that she's been involved in, and this is the kind of jump we get. I mean, this is five-star talent kind of jump, unlike anything we've seen. I didn't even focus that hard on speed. We did focus on it, but only one of those 75%, 3 out of 4 ticks. Others were 1 to 2 ticks and focusing on some other things. And yet we get 79.1% or more to go a whole level up from a 7 to an 8. It's really low. Okay, that's part of it. But the reflexes are at an 11. I wasn't even focused on the reflexes, and yet that got a 28% jump. The agility, which got a small amount of attention, tiny amount, gets a roughly 20% jump. It's going to level up here very soon as well. So that girl is absolutely flying through development, at least at the moment. Raducanu, development slow, but we've got her into the top 25, which is fantastic. Yefimonova, definitely leveling up a bit faster. But Montgomery, we add volley. I've spent 2 weeks working on that, and it's done. Backhand power was the next target. I knew I was about to get it, so I already just started working on that with 1 training session on backhand power. We'll continue on with that to get that happening soon. Positioning, another one that I was semi-targeting while coupling that with volley, and that made a decent amount of progress to where that's going to be a pretty easy target here soon. Good week for Kazantseva, getting reflexes and focus both up a level. And then the slow one lob got 1 training session, and just from that you get 8%. New rankings, Squaw is wiped out after that hard training session, but Raducanu 23rd in the rankings, and that's down a spot. Yefimonova 21st. Montgomery back up into the top 5. Goff drops another spot, 18th now. She has just not fared well. She is our best player, and yet she is only a few spots above Raducanu in the rankings. Kazantseva unlucky to drop to 9th, out of action this last week. And Krager on the verge of cracking the top 25, up 5 spots to 28th. Wouldn't that be something? Six athletes in the top 25? Technically, right now it's 6 in the top 28. Top end of the rankings in Wuhan is us. We are all over the place with this one. Yefimonova losing to Swiatek, though, out in the round of 32. Goff losing to Sabalenka, out in the round of 32. Krager losing in the round of 32. So we had a chance to have 3 out of 4 in this set here, and none of them making it to that stage. Osaka getting through in her matchup, though. Kazantseva also eliminated in the round of 32. 4 teammates all out there. Raducanu, the only one to get through, and it is Fritfurtova who she beat to get to the round of 16. Montgomery, the only other one with a chance. Not too many buys given out here, but she's got one of them. Let's see how she does in this one. Will she get on? She doesn't have an easy path anywhere. It is a 900 level tournament. It's a lot of good athletes. But to have just 1 out of 5 make it, we really need to get 2 out of 6, don't we? 3-1 all time. Can we make it 4 from 5? We do. 6-4, 6-1. Fairly comfortable with 60% of the points won, doubling her up on winners, and just 14 unforced errors out of 110 points played is certainly not a bad ratio. After Raducanu has lost to Andreescu, Montgomery is the only one with a shot to get out of the round of 16. These 900 and 1,000 level tournaments have not been our strong suit, so I wouldn't hold my hopes too high on this one. 1 in 5 all time against Anisimova as we lose yet again to her. 6-4. We win the opening set, but then lose 2-6 and 6-5 in the final set tiebreaker. 67 to 64 on the total winners. 20 unforced errors apiece. The only standout difference is the serve winners. 6 aces for Anisimova, 19 serve winners overall. Not helping the situation any was pain in the shoulder. Could be at least partially responsible as to why Montgomery has made this early exit, but that is the entire team, all 6 out, and not getting that far into this tournament, so that's a pretty bad showing for the team. Following week, we move a little further over to Beijing for the Beijing Open, Premier 1000, slightly larger tournament this time, and Goff, better showing into the round of 32. Krager, also there. Yemafinova with the first round bye, and Montgomery up. Not the easiest path going through here, but Yemafinova looks to be the best opponent we're going to face in the next couple, and that is encouraging. Kasanseva and Raducanu both with a decent chance of at least getting through the next round. Kasanseva, better chance of getting deeper into the tournament. But this one, off to a better start already. A 6-2, 6-4 win is enough to get into the next round. In our first ever matchup against Yemafinova, it's a win, but my oh my, this was supposed to be an easy match in terms of comparison between the two, and it wasn't easy, but it was a win. 7-5, 7-6. 48 winners to 46. 24 unforced errors to 23. Really, really tight match in the end. 52% of points won overall, though, is enough to see us through. Goff made it to the round of 16, but Swiatek is the one who moved on. Montgomery has Benchik in this round. Kasanseva has Ruakina. That's a really tough one for her, but she's got a shot at least of getting through it. Montgomery evens her all-time record against Benchik, 2 apiece. But she lost this one 3-6 in the opening set and then battles back 6-3, 6-4. 7 aces to 5. Pretty close there, but the total winners nearly doubling up on her, and the unforced error is identical. That's enough to get through and deep into this tournament. Our numbers are thinning out, though. Kasanseva beats Ruakina, though, so that is a good one. Goff was out in the round of 16. Raducanu out in the round of 32. Of course, Yemafinova was as well. Krager likewise. First semifinal matchup is set with the first and third seed. Second semifinal is probably going to be Andreescu unless Scout can pull off the upset against one of us. It's Montgomery versus Kasanseva in the quarterfinals. I'm not worried about this. It's not a Grand Slam. Not worried about which one comes out ahead, and I don't suspect that either will get beyond the semis, but at least they'll get to the semis. I'm not sure we've even had a semifinal in a 1,000 level tournament before. That's how bad we've done at these. I feel bad for Kasanseva. 7 times that Montgomery and her have gone head-to-head, and Montgomery has had the better of her 6 of the 7, and yet the two players are very, very similar. I trained them both, and I've trained them in a very similar manner. Montgomery wins again, but it took 3 sets to get there. 65 winners to 36, though. Massive advantage. 4 of the world's top 5 players make the semis for this tournament. Osaka, the only one missing out, so this should be good for Montgomery's chances of moving up one more spot ahead of Osaka, but I don't know if that's going to happen just yet, but it would certainly be nice if that were the case. Getting to the final would help a bit more with the jump in points, but all-time against Andreescu, just 2 out of 10. She did win the last time, and that was a very important match to win, as that was along the way to win the Grand Slam. Not this time. 6-7, 3-6. We are losers in the semis. Only 29 winners. Andreescu, as she most often does, gets the better of us. Another good week for Squaw, though, even without the interference. Footwork and focus both going up a level, and her hot shots, huge jump. Really easy for her at the moment. With it being the eve of Halloween, we have just a couple months left in the year, and that really means we only have a month left in the season. Not even that, really. So as we are about to hit the end of the season, let's check in on the players, because we do potentially stand to lose some this year. Krager, decent chance coming back. 2/3 chance anyway. We've made the main objective, but she didn't get as far in a Grand Slam or a 1,000 tournament as she wanted, but only 1 round shy. Kasanseva has been very disappointing this season. Her rank is lower than where she started the year, now down to 9th. Her goal was to get into the top 5. I believe she started the year at 7th. She wanted to qualify for a World Tour final. Any final. She's made it to a semi, but she hasn't made it further than that. That's the finals. She wants to qualify for the finals. As in, top 8 players make the finals? I think it's just the final 8. She's ranked 9th. So at this stage, she is short of that objective as well. So I think there's a pretty good chance we're going to lose Kasanseva this season. Goff, also very likely. She wanted to make that same finals. She's nowhere near it, ranked 19th. She needed to get into the top 10. She was 11th at the start of the year. There's very little chance that we're going to still have Goff come next season. Montgomery, so close. We have pushed ahead of Osaka, but that's still only 4th. She wanted top 3 for the rankings. She's higher than she was. She's gone from 5th up to 4th, but that's still not good enough. She also wanted to win a Premier 1000. We made the final. That just happened, but we lost that final. The ranking part is worrying. There's a pretty good chance we're going to lose Montgomery. We may be able to re-sign Goff, Montgomery, Kasanseva. I would imagine at least one of them would be willing to re-sign if we lose them all. But right now, there is no legitimate shot of keeping all of them. There's a very, very good chance that we're going to lose a majority of these first 4. Yamafanova, meanwhile, 100% thrilled. Okay, we're good on that one. She's not going anywhere. Raducanu, 100% thrilled. She wanted top 65. We got her into the top 25. Squaw, qualified for the finals. She's already qualified. We just don't have the check mark for it. Don't fall below the top 10. She's right near the top of the standings for the junior rankings, so we're good there. We will keep the last 3. I would imagine we'll keep 1 to 2 out of the first 4. I know 1 replacement. Hopefully we can maybe then re-sign one of the outgoing and keep 3 out of 4 essentially, plus our 1 new one coming in. I'd be okay if it was Krager leaving, as the other 3 are significantly better. Yamafanova in the Next Gen Finals, and she has won the Next Gen Finals. Meanwhile, Squaw in a 500, she's made the final. 115 Raducanu in the final. Really good week for us, and both of them winning those finals. So 3 tournament wins across the team this last week was excellent, especially getting that title in the promising finals for Yamafanova. And somehow her rank has dropped to 24th. Of course, new rankings come out tomorrow. I would imagine she'll get a little boost from that one. Kasanseva just jumped today to 8th in the rankings. I don't care if she doesn't make it much higher than that. I don't care if she's out in the first round. If she qualifies for the World Tour Finals as a top 8 player, that's going to help in maybe keeping her around for next season. Ouch. Well, let's just go with ouch. Kasanseva today, new rankings, is 8th. Sabalenka stays with the 8th seed and the 8th ranked for the tournament that begins today, which is the Tour Finals. So Kasanseva misses out by a day. If the new rankings had come out yesterday, Sabalenka would not be here and Kasanseva would. Our chances of retaining Kasanseva would have gone up significantly, at least by 20% or so. But no, she's out. We have 1 player in this tournament. Favorite for the first round, favored to lose in the semis, as it's Andreescu, most likely. Let's see what happens. If we make the final, we make the final. Otherwise, we'll just see how this thing wraps up. Folding played each other once all time. High serve intensity is what they want, so we'll go with that. And it's 6-1, 6-4, so we are through the first round. It is Andreescu we will play in the next round, and that is discouraging as she's had the better of us. Teammates doing well so far in their tournaments. Swiatek already through to the final, so it's not looking good. If we managed to overcome Andriescu, which we've only done 2 out of 11 times. It's Swiatek from there. So either way, it's looking pretty tough. And it's now 2-10 all time against Andriescu. She's hit double digits in number of victories in the head-to-head. That's so painful. It's encouraging that one of the best players in the world we've gone up against 12 times. That's a sign of progress. But losing to her 10 of those is a sign of we still have plenty of work to do. We're not quite there yet. Montgomery's just getting better and better and better. Of course, 2 Grand Slams now to her name, but she is far from the level of the top few players. 31 winners to 38, getting better on that part. 17 unforced errors is certainly not bad, especially out of 115 points played, but still losing comfortable. Not a blowout, but 4-6, 2-6. It wasn't that close. Squaw out in the quarters, but Krager and Yemafanova both moving on through the semis. Andriescu won the finals, by the way, so she beat off Swiatek in 3 sets, 1-6, 6-4, 6-4. Yemafanova losing the final to Krager, or was it Krager beating Yemafanova? They played each other in the finals of that one. That's fantastic for the team to have 2 players playing in the final. How did it go, though? I don't know. Let's find out here in a second. Krager, finalist. Yemafanova, title. Here are the men's rankings. Don't recognize almost any of those names. Couple, anyway, I know. In the women's rankings, Montgomery keeping that 4th spot. Sabalenka re-overtaking Kostenseva by being a part of that tournament. And Kostenseva not being invited, even though she was the 8th ranked player. Benchik back into the top 10. She was 11th when we saw her a couple weeks back. And Squaw is very comfortably on top of the junior rankings at just 16 years of age. There is another 16-year-old there in Muchata. Might throw an evaluation in on that one. Yemafanova, Raducanu are going to play each other in, I think, our final tournament of the year in a 160 International. It's Yemafanova who has come out on top, but I've started the murder training. In the U.S., we commonly refer this as 2-a-days, something high school football programs do at start, or college football programs often do as well, as they do their preseason. So they do a lot of heavy training to prepare for the year, and then they get a little time off, and then they come back and hit the ground running. But all of that extra work builds up that fitness for the year. Junior Grand Final, Squaw makes it through the semis, but loses in the final to the other player we were just looking at a moment ago, Machuda, the other 16-year-old. So 2 16-year-olds making the finals, and it's the other one who came out on top. That's still a really good first year for her with the team, especially when my hopes were kind of dashed after we saw her potential. Turns out, no, she's got great potential. Let's see how the murder training did. Agility up for Squaw, that she was in the finals tournament. She didn't have that training, but Raducanu, you can see, fairly good jump, 11.5% speed. But that was a lot of training to make that happen. She's just slow at progression. Yemafanova, though, you can see much more solidly. We trained speed. She went from 0 to 30%, third of a level, just like that. Reflexes, serve accuracy, also seeing a good jump. Montgomery sees a decent jump. Serve is her target right now, 75% roughly in both accuracy and power. Goff does enough, 0.08. Forehand accuracy goes up, but she is training very slow these days. I might let Goff go if she's the one lost. Kostenseva, lob. There you go. That was one of my targets. We got it. She's up to level 11. Krager, 13 in speed. I can finally back off and focus on something else if Krager's around for another season. If not, so be it. Contract renewals. Let's see what happens with our players as I think I proceed another day or two, and we will be losing those who are not coming back. I'm seeing 5 names here, not 7, but Montgomery has stayed with us. There you go. There's first one. Yemafanova has stayed with us. Raducanu, Squaw, of course we knew those 3. That's squad as well. So it's only 4. It's only 4. That means we are down, yes, 3 members of the squad. Kasinseva, Goff, and Krager have left. We knew there was a chance with all 4 of them. I was hoping 2 would stay. Biggest thing for us, though, is that Montgomery at least has stayed on. That's been our key player. We have one easy target that we want to sign, so we'll look to do that. And then we have 2 more slots to fill. I would like to first bring back Kasinseva, if possible. I would then like to bring back Goff, if possible, and that would fill the 3 slots. If one of those 2 doesn't want to come back, we may re-sign Krager, but I think there's a good chance that I'll move on from Krager and see what else is out there. That 16-year-old Japanese player might be a good target. We've seen some others as well that have some potential, so I'll be on the look for that one. Or maybe we try to sign one of those top 5 players in the world and see if they can't help us get some wins. That's doing it the easy way. Not a huge fan of that, but you never know. It's an approach we have not tried as of yet. That is going to do it for this episode and this season. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.